excited to have Andrew on, and I mean, I don't know how much introduction you really need. I mean, you're one of the
He's the
biggest early
man.
projects, right?
It's weird, and thanks for having me on this afternoon or this morning, I
Yeah,
guess
what
at
time
your
is
end.
it for you?
Technically,
It
it's
is
afternoon now.
6 p.m. Oh, so it's both. Yeah, okay, so it's kind
Technically,
of
it's
late afternoon.
12:01, so
Yeah,
afternoon.
it's awesome to be here and for you guys to be getting people on the stream with you. In terms of introductions, yeah, you just said, "Oh, it's one of the big ones." It was one of the Crypto Mythos is one of the big ones. It still just feels like something I made on my computer. It's
I,
just,
I mean, it was
we
two
can
weeks ago,
relate.
right? The
yeah, yeah.
sale.
It's full. I mean, time goes by so much faster, and it's insane right now. Definitely, I can see how you would feel that way. Well,
Yeah.
I gotta drop the catchphrase that I made for you. Okay, so every
Yeah.
guest has a catchphrase that I invented.
Let's hear
He
it.
may be creator of CryptoNitties, but today, oh no, that was my original one. The original one was he may be a creator of CryptoNitties, but today he'll be hanging here with his kitties. But that's not the one I
They're
decided
not
to go
here.
with.
We don't see them in the
The one
background.
yeah,
So
we got a
yeah.
different background now. The one I decided to go with is a creator of CryptoNitties here, ready to be super witties. Look,
Nice.
it was a last minute thought.
No,
I
We're
thought
developing
it's
ideas for our stream,
developing.
no,
and
no, I like it. It's kind of whimsical, and I like it.
That's whimsical is where
yeah,
it's
we
at.
like
Where we're going
we
for.
like whimsy. Oh, and you know what I wanted to do is announce this kind of big
Oh
news
yeah,
for us early in
yeah.
the stream instead of at the end this time. So Alyssa and I are going to be joining the NFT update team, and we're going to have a regular show where we talk about NFTs, talk to artists, talk about whatever's going on in the space that piques our interest, and
Gamification,
we're
all
super
kinds of
excited
cool
about that.
stuff.
So that's our like
Yeah, I
big
Definitely.
think
announcement for the day.
that's awesome, right? Because that's something that's been missing, I think, and I think the NFT update project is really great because it kind of brings all these creators together and gives us like a single point, right, where people can look at and they can know, right, okay, so these projects seem to be valid. That's one issue at the moment is,
Yes,
are the
Hmm.
projects valid? Like, there's a
exactly.
lot of talk around authenticity and such at the moment. So I think having you guys on there will be absolutely awesome.
And it's such an interesting thing that NFTs, which are supposed to be like, the point is that it's valid, right? Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
authentic
all
certificate of
authentic, right?
authenticity.
And
Yeah,
right.
yet there's still the potential for scams. There's a potential for people to create tokens that they
Yeah.
don't own and pass them off as real. There's like,
and yet the beautiful thing is that everyone in this community is so collaborative and cool and doesn't want the toxicity,
mhm.
and that makes me feel like, and Charles, at the as our leader in a way, it makes me feel like this has as the best chance of anything. I mean, we're gonna keep
Yeah.
having
Well,
cascading disruptions to make it good.
yeah, so it's like there's two kind of things to this, to the authenticity thing, right? So you've got the
Yeah.
democratization of digital art, right? So that anyone can produce an NFT, right?
Yes.
But also anyone can steal the work of someone else. Yeah, and we could use some popular examples. I'm just going to make one up.
Sure.
I could take
We like that.
the Mona Lisa, right, and
Yeah.
I could just stick it online and just say, hey, here's the digital version of the Mona Lisa. And is there
Exactly.
anything to stop me from doing that? I mean, the Mona Lisa's in the public domain and to an extent, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so there's an interesting aspect to that, but there's a lot of conversation around, like, Walter Benjamin is quite a famous academic in the field of sort of media studies and
Hmm.
social
Oh,
studies,
cool. I'm gonna
and
write that name
he
down.
would talk about the reproduction of art on the Gutenberg print press, right?
Oh,
So
wow.
reproduction of a print, like a canvas, does it devalue it? If I can reproduce that piece of work millions of times in print, does that devalue the original, right? And this is a debate that is always been moving into the digital space, but now with NFTs, the debate is far wider because the
Sure.
means of production, right? You don't need a Gutenberg print press anymore. You
Nope.
don't need to even have a website, right? You just need
Everyone's
network
got it.
connection,
Like,
phone, right?
yeah.
And you can just immediately reproduce that piece of work really, really quickly. So the debate, I think, around that and authenticity is really hot right now. So I think that's another case for having like a bit more information in the space, like coming from you
A
guys,
hub.
NFT
Yeah.
update, etc., where people can tune in and say, "Oh, actually, yeah, this one looks really good," or they're asking the right questions of this project, you know?
Because there's research involved. It's been researched. That the people have been talked to and are good people. That are making it and everything.
Yeah, it's transparency, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
you can
Yes.
see them.
Actual transparency. Yes.
Putting a face to the artist is a big thing.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to ask a question of you about. Okay, so I want to hear about your background a little bit for anyone who hasn't heard that, because I think it's extremely interesting. And after you explain that, talk about that. Is there a childhood or past moment that stands out to you as the moment that made you realize you wanted to be a content creator, coder?
Right. Okay. So I'll start with the second one actually,
Sure.
because it's quite an interesting one.
Cool.
Well, I find it interesting. It's interesting to me. But
I find it interesting if you do.
So when I was a teenager, as far as I was concerned, I was going to be either a professional mountain biker or a professional cricket player. Right?
Okay.
So that's what I was going to do, because I was very good actually at cricket. Right? Not, I'm normally
That's
quite a modest
awesome.
person, but I was pretty good at cricket, And when I went to college, the only reason I went to college was because my mum said, if you're going to continue living under this roof, then you're going to go to college.
Sounds familiar.
So that's what I did. And when I was at college, I met this guy, a lecturer called James Tayamoya Money.
Spell that.
I don't think
Does he have a social media?
I don't think he does, but he was a really inspiration to me. And I remember his family were from Uganda, and they were exiled in Uganda from Uganda under the regime of Idi Amin. And he would talk to me about the power of media and the power of communication and messages and such.
Yeah.
And that was when I really started to pay attention to the world around us, right? And he would show these videos, these films that he'd made upon returning to Uganda as an adult. So where he'd gone back home and he'd made films about democracy in Uganda and local councils. I suppose in the UK we have parish councils, so it's something similar to that, I suppose. And he would just film these meetings taking place, and like to me it just looks like, oh, you filmed a meeting, but actually that whole process that was going on in Uganda was amazing. And so from James Tayamoya Money, I really got inspired to actually move into the media field, and then subsequently into games and animation and special effects from there, purely because I was pretty handy with computers, really. So that was the big inspiration for me
What
to get
was
into
it
space.
about the filming that was so incredible?
Yeah.
I don't think I quite.
The fact that I think it was that in the context of Uganda, like where basically everything was locked down for so long, and there was very little freedom under the regime of Idi Amin, to be able to go there and document a process of a democratic process was really powerful. Just the act of filming it,
which was dangerous.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was when James Tayamoya went back, but actually having those skills in the country as well to be able to film that and to celebrate that by putting it out there, like being able to put it on the internet, for example, that was really powerful. So for me, that to me seemed quite trivial when I saw it, but then when you look into it and you peel back the layers, right, you see its significance. And that's for me was why it was so powerful and inspiring.
So
that's
that
really
hit you
awesome.
in that way, and it pushed you into these other forms of expression, and was that
vision.
was the feeling that you could like do something, like there was change possible, or like you could, influence the world in a way? Is that, did that move you in that way?
Absolutely.
Without
Yeah.
fitting into a box that
Yeah.
Yeah,
expected.
so I mean, when you're younger, and when you're older as well, I suppose, but it's certainly easier when you're younger because you haven't been knocked back, life hasn't really happened, as it were, and you kind of like you just think, I can change the world. Like, why can't I change the world? I mean, look at some of the amazing young people that are doing things, right? It's like
Greta,
everyone says Greta, right? But
Yeah.
absolutely, just these amazing young people in the UK. We've got a relatively young footballer, Mark Rashford, I think Martin Rashford. I can't remember his first name, but actually, Rashford, we know him as Rashford purely from football commentary. Rashford's on the ball, right? But he's actually been a real pioneer for school meals during times when poorer families don't have access to school premises. So in the COVID situation, of course, there were all these kids living at home, and they weren't getting given access to the same kind of food that they would have in school. So he was an amazing advocate for actually delivering that in person, delivering that and getting all that stuff through government and parliament and stuff. So there are some amazing young people doing some great things, and of course I wanted to be one of those young people, but then you kind of come up against things sometimes, and you sometimes become a little bit like, oh, can I change the world? Can I change these things?
What is going to be my path to do so?
Yeah, and that's what kind of led me towards education in the end, was just hopefully, if I've got all these interesting skills, then maybe if I can kind of impart some of that knowledge onto younger people, then maybe they can use those things.
Totally.
Well.
That is where I'm at with changing the world. I really want to basically just teach and lead by example to people, instead of necessarily trying to change their mind, just like poke at what they're thinking and yeah, I mean, as we need all of the good people to lead by example, because there's certainly a lot of bad people doing it.
It's tough.
Well, I don't mean it that way, but there's people that are for humanity.
There's certainly a level of compassion and interest in other people.
The people who are interested in connecting and you know.
I mean, I suppose there's a lot of actors who are who are in the thing, whatever they do it for themselves, And,
yes.
And I don't, I'm in terms of education, I love educating. I love working with young people, and I love teaching skills, and I love all the questions that come along with that. So there is, don't get me wrong, there's a bit of a selfish aspect to this as well.
Yeah.
I love being a teacher. I absolutely love it. I gain so much out of it. But the fact that can also help young people and such as well.
Well, you're doing what you're on this earth to do while you're doing it, which is why it feels good, and it's also helping them because of the authentic. It's really coming from you, and you really want to be doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know if that answered both parts to the original question, but we had an interesting conversation around it.
Let me ask you this:
that was great.
Do any of your students know about crypto?
Yeah.
The world's come together yet?
Yes.
So I guess some of my old students do, for sure. Some of my current students probably about to find out. So the university I work for, which is one of the largest universities in the UK, we've been sort of doing these little interview sessions as the marketing department try and navigate how they want to talk about what's happened. So there'll be an article coming out, I think, on the university web pages in the next week or so, talking about it. So all the students will then be like, oh yeah, we need to
my God.
find out about this.
Yes.
The interest is not just from the arts department that I'm a part of. The interest is from all subject areas. We've got people from business and law getting in touch with me and just saying, hey, I heard you did this thing.
I mean, it's like a frontier,
who
right?
wouldn't love it? I mean,
open frontier. And
absolutely.
It's like the Wild West now. We're going, we're settling it, we're taming it. there's outlaws, there's
making it the
gamers,
way
you know?
we would want it in a good way. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, let's see.
That's really exciting that you're gonna start getting that IRL recognition, not just
Yeah.
Discord.
So, like, are you having to take a break between lecturing and academia? Like, I'm really interested in doing that down the line. You know, maybe in about 10 years, and I'd love to know a little bit about if you're currently doing that, if you're currently lecturing.
So currently I am lecturing, but not in my normal capacity. So I've recently started, and when I say recent, like 18 months ago, at a brand new design school in Manchester called the School of Digital Arts, or SODA.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. And there's various interesting acronyms that you could do with that as well. You know, or
Definitely.
yeah, there's
I
some
like
interesting ways you can use that in educational terms. But so I've actually been brought on to write courses. So I've been lecturing for nearly 20 years now in games.
That's great.
And they brought me on to write some brand new programs in games, basically. So that's what I've been doing.
That's probably helped prepare you. Like, it just, I know being a tour guide for us has helped a lot. So I can't even imagine how much lecturing would help.
Yeah. Oh,
get you ready for everything.
Yeah, and you know what? In all of this, when we had with Nitties, right, we had the first launch that we don't really talk about very much. But
I loved it.
It's fair to call it a failed launch, right? It's fair, to call it a failed launch for whatever reason.
It's fair to call it that, but I consider it a success.
Honestly, when that was all going on, it was pretty devastating. But every bad thing that could have possibly ever happened to me has happened in front of thousands of students already.
Exactly.
It's just like, whatever. I've been here before,
Yeah, I mean, my motto these days is I don't mind what happens. Whatever happens, it's gonna be for the best. I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna adapt. Whatever.
I mean, that's the attitude you have to have when you're in front of people in a live way.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to ask you something that's pretty deep, which is, what was the first experience in your life when you realized that you had the power to do something meaningful? And it can just be it doesn't have to be but
yeah, that's really interesting. I think, there's one that's just popped into my head, so I guess I should go with that one.
Yeah, go with it. I don't
necessarily think it was the first moment, but when I used to play cricket, when I so involved in sports as a youngster, I was very sporty.
That's good for discipline.
We also used to like the youngsters who would play cricket. They would have to also train to be umpires, so they would have to train to referee or essentially the events. They're called umpires in cricket, right?
Yeah.
So there was a match that I was umpiring, and it was one that was historically had a lot of rivalry to it, right, between these two teams. And it came down to the last bowl. All right, so the last ball to be thrown, right, and I was umpiring at the end, and it was even, right. So
you were umpiring at the end.
I was umpiring, right, on this delivery, this final bowl.
Yeah.
And the bowler comes over and he bowls a wide ball, which technically is 1 point to the other team, and he's got to bowl it again. And I just thought, why don't we just end it here? It wasn't that wide,
Yeah.
And it's a draw, and then there's no sort of rivalry.
Like
this evening we can all go to the pub as equals,
and have fun. Yes.
Right. And so that's what I did. Is I just didn't call the wide. The bowler's looking at me going, "Oh no, that's a wide ball. I've just lost our team the game." And I was like, "Oh, great game, guys. Well done." And that was it.
Right there.
I love that.
Yeah, exactly. And we all just walked off the pitch together, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I think that was the first time I realized, or one of the most significant points
Yeah.
in my life, I suppose, when I realized that a decision that I can make that might not be the actual correct
The
decision
stereotypical
Technically,
status
yeah.
quo.
it can still
Yeah.
be the right decision, right? Even though it's not the correct one.
Really interesting. That's
just
a great
like
example.
yeah, it really is a great example. It's like just like things that are legal are not necessarily moral, and things that are illegal are not necessarily,
Yeah, right.
sometimes the only moral choice has been the illegal choice in history, and I
Right,
don't know,
yeah.
so it kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That's
Big
really
time.
cool.
Yeah, that's great. Thank
We
you.
play kickball now post COVID, so that's about as close as I get to cricket, which
It's
is
a kickball then. So what's kickball?
it's baseball but
Right.
kicking.
With a big ball that you can't kick very
Right.
well.
Yes.
I mean, it's hard to make.
So can you pick the ball up at all?
Well, you kick it.
You
and then
catch
people
it.
Catch it, and they throw it. It's just like baseball. It's just
Outfield
like a big-
catches,
Right, okay.
but it's like a big ball.
It's
Yeah.
basically
Okay.
exactly the same thing, but
Okay.
chill. It's a lot chill.
Yeah.
It's mostly just drinking on the side.
Yeah. Well, I should think it's probably, if it is drinking and barbecue type related, then it's probably easier to kick the ball than it is to hit a smaller one.
Exactly.
Right, with
Oh,
a long
yeah.
racket.
It's a
Everyone's
chill-
drinking at this one. It's like a White Claw sort of event.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if Trevor, if you want to ask any of these, you can. But this is the last, like, kind of serious question. The rest of them are going to be silly and fun,
Okay.
and then we are going to have our game of taboo, which I think we're going to do really
It's a
well.
necessary part of any interview.
It's a necessary part. We're gonna add more games as we go, but this is really good. Okay, so Andrew, if you were provided with the funding and staff, with unlimited funding and staff, what would you do to make the world a better place? Sky's the limit, dream big, sort of a situation.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I suppose for
And
me...
just
I
one,
think-
one thing. That comes to
Yeah,
mind.
so I think for me it would be around education, and it'll be around the democratization of technical skills. I think that probably in terms of financial technology, that's we're talking because we have collaborated and come together in this kind of innovative financial technology space of cryptocurrency. And I think
Yes.
I think that the skills around that kind of technology, they're very nascent, they're very new, they are developing. And I think for me, I would like to bring that kind of education around that sector to a wider audience, and
Very
really
interesting.
democratize that. And I know there's a lot of work in parts of the world that are currently unbanked, and there's a lot of publicity around the Cardano projects
Yeah,
in Africa
Africa,
and such.
yeah.
And I think that would be a really fantastic place to start with that.
Definitely. That's kind of similar to Tyler's answer, which was to, try to democratize, lower the barrier to art, give people art materials, give people musical instruments, and then we have the internet. Not everyone has the internet, but we do more and more, and so
Yeah.
people being able to express themselves is just
Yeah, absolutely. And through that, that even deeper with that, you can say, well, okay, so you can give people musical instruments, but actually what you can also do is you can give them the skills to build their own musical instruments, right? So,
Yes.
when you look at using things like Raspberry Pis and Arduinos to create electronic synthesizers and all that kind of
Wow.
stuff, they're not just learning about Arduinos, they're learning about physical computing, they're learning about electronics.
Yeah.
And these are skills, these are like real skills
Yeah.
that are transferable, right?
not
across
just
different-
hobby self-expression. I mean, self-expression
Yeah.
is vital to give you the confidence to do other things, but if you can get all of that together, then it's especially powerful for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely, yeah.
Well, that's
So-
beautiful.
There we go. Is that what brought you to Cardano? This kind of like what got you here? Was
Yeah.
that attitude of kind of
Yeah,
helping
when did you
democratizing
come here and-
finance?
Yeah. So crypto, right? I'm not. I think I've been in crypto for like 2 weeks longer than I had a Discord for nitties, right? So I've not been in crypto for very long. I've always been one of those people who just thought, oh yeah, that's going on over there, right? And then, you know, recently you read all the news about NFTs, and there's a big artist in the UK called Brendan Dawes, who was a major influencer for me actually when I was younger, when I was at university. He actually came to visit us in university, and I was a bit of an outsider at university because I was really into coding on a creative course, and he came to visit us and he stood over my shoulder for like 30 minutes and he was like, did you just do that in Flash? And I was like, yeah, I created a Z-axis in Flash, don't you know? And he was like, that's really cool. Yeah, it's interesting actually, because on Twitter a few weeks ago, I sent him, or maybe a month or two ago, I sent him a message and he said, I remember that. I remember you. And that was like 20 years ago. So
you're a shining star.
Yeah. Well,
I want to see it. I want to pull him up on screen. Can we pull him up on screen?
Dawes is a big NFT artist, right? But on the Ethereum platform. And so when I started looking into this, I was thinking, hey, I can do stuff like this, technical art. And then I started looking into it, and you find out about the environmental implications and such of some of the older crypto currency blockchain stuff. So he does like procedural technical art, which is quite interesting. I suppose in Cardano NFT space.
Oh, we lost Alyssa.
Have we? I can hear her though. She's still in the same
room. She's in my room, so I mean, if I point my camera, she's right there.
Yeah. So I saw the bookcase. It's like split in half. So you know.
All right, wait.
See and hear me?
There we go. Yeah, you're
okay. Good. I was so blown away by Brendan Dawes' website. It's
so he's a really fantastic designer, so diverse. Like just over the years, over the last like 20 years, and really, actually, a lot of his early work really defined the direction that Flash went in. You know, in terms of becoming more of a designerly tool. That's all because of Brendan Dawes' early work, which was called Drag Slide Fade, where he started talking about user experience in this way that was really accessible to creative designers and not technologists. So Brendan Dawes had a massive influence on me. So when I saw he was in the NFT space, I started looking into it. But then you get the environmental aspects, and you know, whether rightly or wrongly, you know, sometimes they're probably a little bit exaggerated, but you know, certainly for me it was like, nah, it's not my kind of thing. But then a friend of mine, Crypties NFT.
Of course.
He got in touch and just said, yeah.
What up, baby?
He's going, hey, can you build a tool? And he got me into Cardano and stuff. Just have a look at it. And immediately I just thought, hey, this looks, if I'm ever going to do crypto, it's going to be Cardano, right? So it just fits with everything, like the educational ethos in terms of like, you know, the development programs that Lars runs and stuff. You know, there's this amazing, like, his background to Cardano, this underlying infrastructure, which is really awesome and really connected with me. And so, that was how I got into the NFT space.
Well, we'll have to we'll give a shout out to Crypties for bringing us indirectly, you know, cryptonities as well. And y'all did your collaboration as the skateboard, right?
So some of the black labels collaborations. So collaborations with Crypties and with Ada Dolls. Ada Dolls, I'm not going to say when they're launching because they still need to announce it, but Ada Dolls, you can expect something soon from Ada Dolls as well.
That's really cool. Well, that kind of leads us to the question about are those the only folks that you've collaborated with? Obviously us as well, to a very small extent, but...
Well, no, you guys. If you look at the stuff that you did, it wasn't. You know, you created GIFs and animations, and if you look at the stuff around that, you know, like we could say, oh well, yeah, you just created a few GIFs and stuff, but there's no just about it. Actually, it led to a massive community engagement. It led to people being involved and excited, right? So actually, you guys were a big part of the Crypto Mythos project.
That means a lot, because we love our Crypties, and we can't get enough of them.
It started with the skateboarder. We saw this. You posted the skateboard.
I remember this. Yeah.
We could make this a thing. Like, I want to show this. Actually, I bet you I could put that up.
I remember that. Yes, was it going up a half pipe? I think, wasn't
Yes.
it? Or
Yeah.
up and down a half
Yeah,
pipe.
yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
He's so badass.
All right,
And
here
then
it
that was,
is.
yeah, that's it. And so these were
A little
the
laggy.
second iteration of the nitties, right? So
There it
these were the
goes.
ones where they had a few issues on them, but I was leaving on them, so that I knew that they were not the
Okay.
Yeah.
best ones, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were happy to help that come to life. Well, are there any other people in the community that you
Yeah.
hoping to collaborate with? In the future?
Well, obviously we've had our technical collaboration, right? So we've had Adam, the
Adam.
real
He's
Adam
on
The
Dean.
our show
Adam
as well,
Dean,
so
yes.
we love
Amazing what we
Yeah.
did, and so that's been amazing to find Adam. And actually, Adam and I found each other really by happenstance, I suppose. We just happened to be in the same chat room. For me, it was like 3 a.m, I think, and he was, and I said, "Hey, look at this Frankenstein crypto nitty," and then I think he sent me a message saying, "We need to talk." Something like that.
That's always
Something like that. But
He was ready for it.
that's kind of how it happened, and then through that, we've connected with.
There he is.
There it is.
Oh, what a handsome boy.
and
I
then we-
love the lipstick tubes.
All right, yeah. So these were, I suppose so the bolts in the head, because these were all meant to be able to be makeable at home, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out how to do the bolts without using like a nail or something, and
Yeah,
there were just these
dangerous.
little lids on makeup, and I think you can get them with like paints as well, like oil
Well, that's
paints.
a
and stuff.
very creative.
I definitely plan to
idea
make a
there,
nitty
yeah.
one day.
Yeah, several people are, right. You've got Space Balloons, who was another early community member
Oh, yeah,
who's
we've
seen
still
those.
working,
Really good
working
work.
on creating some nitties, and maybe a pattern might come out of that at some point. And there are lots of other people. I think last weekend there were people saying, right, we're now the Crypto Nitties Knitting Collective. So, all trying to work together to create a pattern to release into the wild. And actually, there was an example of a crypto nitty that someone did knit, and they sold it with the
Yes,
NFT.
yes,
Did
it
you
was.
see that?
Yeah, and it doubled the value, the sale value.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I mean, of course it
amazing,
did.
for sure.
I mean, that's not surprising at all. So,
Yeah.
can we ask what's next with crypto nitties?
Right. So it's an interesting one, because obviously, like, it's a bit of a weird time with NFTs at the moment. Right, it's a bit weird. So the projects that are going out aren't really, they're not. 10K projects are probably
No.
not going to happen
Yeah.
anymore, right?
At
And-
least, yeah.
Yeah, not right now. It's not the right time for them for a variety of reasons. So there's the aspect where we need to consolidate value for those who have speculated, okay, which is a fair thing to do. Anything we do, we don't want to devalue what's already out there.
Yeah.
But at the
Right.
same time, we also want to do something really cool, because people really like crypto knitting.
I know.
So you can't be held prisoner on one side and to not
balance.
do something on the other. Absolutely. So we're going to do something. We've got a few ideas.
Just like that.
I think the first thing is we're going to do a couple of IRL projects, probably a real life encyclopedia, which we will feature every single crypto nitty, and a couple of them will be pulled out, and we'll have stories about them, like why the design decisions were made, but also around
That's rad.
interviews with people in the community as well. So people like yourselves, but also people who. Like, there was I received a lovely message, and I've received so many lovely messages actually, but a really nice message from someone who was looking for a particular crypto nitty. But is there one, the amount of emails that I've had around this kind of thing, is there a Von 2-3 with a blue hat and a flame hoodie? Right, so the amount of questions I've had that are like that, I've had hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And in this one case, managed to find the exact nitty that this guy wanted. And he was able to locate who had it and say, hey, I really want this nitty for this reason, and was able to then buy that in the secondary trading market. And then he sent me a really lovely message about being able to facilitate that and why it was important to him that he had that particular nitty. So little community stories like that, that I think are really interesting and probably different. Something that it makes, I guess it's being community driven first, it makes
That's
the Crypto
special.
Nitties project kind of stand out a little bit. So I really wanted to celebrate that in a book, really.
We just had an example of somebody who had almost the perfect collection, and we traded with them without even using escrow, just because we trusted each other, and
we did our first trade.
And now his collection is perfect. He had a bunch of Lovecrafts, but not a blue one, and it looks so good now.
Did you see Faharukan completed a suite of black labels?
Yes.
I know. Oh my God. We ogled it. We were in awe. We were in love with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you guys ready for the fun questions here?
Okay, go for it. Hit me.
Okay. So, actually, something I'm really interested in that's kind of fun. So, I remember hearing about when when Adam was making the policy, and you found the letters BEE were in the policy.
Yeah.
I wanna hear. Going through this journey, have you felt a lot of moments where the universe was aligned?
Yes, 100%. So the B thing was really interesting, right? Because you've got to bear in mind at that stage of development, nothing really sort of untoward had happened, right? So everything was just happening as it should have done, right?
Yeah.
And Adam sent me the policy ID on Telegram, and like at the same time, we both said, "There's a B in it," right? So it's just amazing because that's a random string of letters and numbers.
Totally
so
right.
It's just crazy that it was there. So we're just like, it's meant to be,
Exactly.
So that was really amazing. But there's also other things, that things where you realise actually at the time, this doesn't feel so great. Like the terrible launch, but actually. There's a side to that a lot of people don't see, and that is all of the amazing messages from other developers that I'm getting that are saying, "Can you tell us what went wrong? Because we do not want that to happen to us."
It opens up the doors.
Yeah, and so suddenly you started seeing people using captures, right? You start seeing all of this stuff. So actually, that happening to Nitties at the time, it was like, oh goodness, why is this happening to us, right? But actually, we were the perfect people for it to happen to. We had this amazing developer who was like, wow, I thought we sorted everything, but they got around stuff. And you got me, who was just really confident, putting their face out there, saying this is going to be amazing, and all this kind of stuff. And obviously it went a little bit wrong. And we were 100%, I think, the right people to have that happen to. So that everyone else in the community, and there are many, many developers, who reached out and just said, A, can we support you? And B, can you let us know what you're doing to sort this out, because we need to implement the same kind of solutions. So go on.
It's really good that you were so helpful.
Like, what was it? We're talking about it. What was it?
Yeah, so I mean, essentially, we were expecting traffic of around about 3,000 or 4,000 people, perhaps, and some of those would be multiple browser users and stuff, and we were 100% prepared for that. What we weren't expecting was 527,000 requests on the server. Now, that doesn't mean 527,000 people, right? There were some efficiencies that we needed to make in the system, for sure, but even with those efficiencies, it was just an insane number that we were dealing with. So much of that was bots. Absolutely, that was the main problem. And there were also the traffic, the amount of traffic you'd get in an instant from just 3,000 or 4,000 people. Refreshing. Boom, you're in. Okay. And so suddenly you've got not just you've got the database as well as the server. You've got Amazon Web Services trying to balance everything, right? Trying to distribute people to different servers and stuff. All of this stuff kicks in to try and manage it. And unfortunately, if we were selling to like 2,000 or 3,000 people, we would have sold everything on the first day.
Yeah.
You know, but the problem is we were actually selling to bots as well, right?
Yeah.
That first launch. So that was the main issue, and that's why we pulled the plug early
I think
on.
it was
But
the right move.
Well, you did.
100%.
I think you did the
Anyone
right
who's
move
mad,
all
you know,
along.
it's
No.
just what had to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Okay, so
That's the bandits in the Old West, you know, they're gonna
they're gonna come. Yeah.
the black hats come rolling into town.
With
you
the
know.
mask over their face. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, one of the interesting things that people don't really think about, right, is with the second launch, we were still aware that we were going, okay, we solved the bot problem for the most part, right? We're going to get rid of like 90% of the bots because some people can just click on the things and get through them anyway.
Right.
But how do we get rid of the multi-tab flippers, you know? So this is one of the things that was really, I took away from the first launch, the failed launch, was that what happens in every launch, this happens in every launch
Yes.
that I've seen, is come launch, within about 5 minutes, there's people saying, this isn't working, this is failed, this is awful, this is terrible.
Yes, like
so
like
many
out the
complaints.
gate
Yeah,
negativity about it. Yeah.
I had to wait for 3 minutes. This is disgusting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you're going to get those no matter what, right? So what we did in the second launch, and I know you were part of the testing, is we had this kind of enforced waiting time, right? Do you remember that? So
That's smart. Yeah.
right, and it really annoyed everyone. And what happened is those people left.
Good.
And suddenly it was really
Yeah.
smooth, right?
The people who were committed to it
Because
actually
because
interested in the
because
project.
people want to complain because when they complain, they're always right. And
Right.
so they like their ego likes the feeling of being right.
Yeah.
So if they have to wait, then yeah, it's smooth sailing, like
so,
you said.
do you know what? They
That's
had
really
to wait.
smart.
They weren't prepared to. They left, and everything went exactly as planned. And that
Great.
wasn't an
Yeah.
accident. That was not an accident. Okay, we knew we had to manage that aspect
Very well.
of
You're learning.
sale, right? And that was like, you know, Adam and I in the Discord kept saying, yep, we've got a solution for this. We're not going to let you know what it is, but we've got a solution for this. That solution was the
Secret
waiting
solution.
time.
Yeah.
Because if you recall in the testing, in between the failed launch and the revised launch,
Yeah.
we actually engaged with the Discord community, you guys and the wider Discord community. You were all expecting the wait. The people who come in at the last minute to do the flipping, they
Yeah.
didn't participate in the testing. They didn't know about it.
Of course.
Of course.
Right? So it worked perfectly.
You know the people that are in their hearts are in it are gonna be fine with it. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what I really appreciated about kind of the unintended end result of this multiple sale thing is that there are different mint dates now.
Yeah.
It's not really, you know, there's like pre-launch, like the first launch mint day that feels like that's more valuable to me. Like
Right.
the one that we got on that first.
Oh yeah,
we were
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. We
You know?
we
Yeah.
treasure those for
And
sure.
you know, you get some different opinions on that because, like for me, the ones that launched on the smoothly are like the more valuable ones, right? Because they are less mentally traumatic.
Oh, well, for you,
Well, it's
yeah.
like one of those collector's coins. But it's like a collector because
It's
they
got a mistake.
on the coin.
Yeah,
and now
right.
Everyone wants it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's
exactly.
how
So
it's me.
yeah. I can see
Everyone's
that.
gonna want it for different reasons, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
Okay, so now I have to ask you to tell me about. Well, how about what's in your fridge right now? Give me a few things that are in your refrigerator right now.
Okay, so I can tell you because we went shopping earlier.
Oh, great! Good time.
Actually, my mum bought some sandwiches over earlier. So my young niece, who's about 6 months old now, came to visit. earlier. So
Oh,
I keep
so cute.
finding new drool spots where she's dribbled on me at the moment. But she came to visit earlier, and my mum bought some sandwiches round and stuff. So there's sandwiches in the fridge. There's lots of hummus.
Finger sandwiches.
Huge-
Hummus, yeah.
Oh, we got a
Yeah.
shitload of hummus. Yeah.
Yeah, I love a bit of hummus and some falafel and stuff. So we've got some falafel in there. We've got some vegan cheese in there because we're vegan.
Yeah,
so-
we are too.
Awesome. So yeah, I remember seeing your vegan mincing machine.
Oh, meet your food
Backwards. Yeah, I love
Yes,
that.
yes.
with Sonic. Yeah, yeah.
Love that. So yeah, and various nut milks. of different ilks, right? So almond milk, oat milk.
We
all that
only
kind of
like
stuff.
soy, but we do love the Ben and Jerry's almond milk ice
I'm
cream.
okay
It's
with
so
the
good.
oat milk.
Yeah,
I
oat milk's
Yeah.
pretty good actually. So you struggle with the creaminess with the nut milk, right?
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
watery. Oat milk, yeah, I think oat milk's
some
the
meat to
way
it.
way to go. Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, it's good that I was a little. I'm glad to hear that's what was in your fridge. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, rate how weird you are on a scale of 1 to 10, Andrew.
Okay. So I'm aware of a general weirdness about me.
I'm aware of weirdness about myself.
Generally aware of it, then I suppose it should probably be like to someone else. It would probably be like a 9 or a 10 or something.
Uh-huh.
Personally, my general weirdness, I would say, is probably about a 6 or a 7. Yeah.
Feel that.
That feels
Yeah.
more.
I give myself an 8, but sometimes I feel like other people probably would give me a 9 or a 10, just the way you said. Yeah.
Do you think that's more of a quirky thing though? So do you consider yourself like quirky? Like for example, you we were talking earlier about you essentially doing like being tour guides and
Right,
being performance
right.
artists, right? So what you do is performance art
Yeah.
essentially.
That's true.
I could never do that. I don't think.
That's all, what we do is lecture.
You totally
lecture
could.
about
No,
history.
yeah, it's straight up
all it
lecturing,
is.
but wearing a costume and trying
Right.
to have
Walking
a
around
little razzle dazzle, but not even much. And you seem
Yeah.
like
You
you'd
know,
be
amazing
super
tour guide.
interesting.
Trust me. We've hired a lot of tour
Lecturing.
guides, and you got it.
You could do it so well, trust me. We got an eye for the tour guide talent.
Yeah.
Cool, that's great. And now I would like. Oh, well, I did have a silly question, a question from an older lady that I'm gonna go find that lady real quick.
So
Okay.
We're
We're working
all part
on-
of our experimenting.
Yes.
of the way that we're doing this show.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
a large box of wigs in our house.
We have an entire room full of costumes. So
That's incredible.
And we wanna,
What's your
get
strangest
involved.
costume that you have?
I have
Strangest costume.
mime alien.
I mean,
Mime
probably just the
alien.
ones that we
Oh, no.
make out of scraps. from
Yeah.
the costumes.
Right.
Well, actually, I think
Our
the
Mardi
strangest
Gras
one that we did
costumes.
probably was the wig jacket.
Oh yeah. It's a lab coat covered in wigs.
We tried,
Right.
one day I was like, I didn't know what to put on. It was Endymion the Saturday before Mardi Gras. It was
Mm-hmm.
a party. And so we took all of the wigs from our wig box and safety pinned them to a jacket and just wore that.
And he was kind of like the circus. I was the circus ringleader, and he was the circus, freak.
Yeah, what's that thing from the Addams Family? Is that thing? That's
Thing,
not
yeah,
thing, is
yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Sure.
he's a bit like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So this is a question from an old lady who's a fan of CryptoNitties.
Right.
Here she comes.
Okay, I gotta find my. I guess she's just gonna wear this pink jacket.
It's gonna be good. Here we go. I don't know if that's gonna work.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Let's
Yeah.
go with that.
Let's do it. Okay. Hold on, I need my headphones. Well, hello, Andrew. So these nitties, the target get, I learned these words from my son, mind you, okay? My name's Doris, and the target demographic for these nitties is obviously mimis, grandmas, mamas, like myself, within the popular knitting hobby. And considering the barrier that old ladies like me have, I mean, I'm young at heart, okay, but I'm an old lady. So considering considering the barrier that we have when it comes to technology, how do you account for the amazing sales of crypto nitties? Was it one rich grandmother?
Well, Doris, I think that CryptoNitties from the outset were really an idea to disrupt the crypto space with the art form of crochet. Although it's actually knitting, isn't it? Because
Yes.
we are what's the term? Pokers, not hookers, right? So
Yes, I say that all the time.
so yeah, and I think that what we managed to do was get some crypto bros actually performing knitting and crochet, which was really exciting. I think that that's how we managed to sell out within 4 days.
Wow. Well, I just would love to tell my knitting circle about these because, I think we would all love to try and knit them and support you, you just don't see that every day.
Absolutely. So what you should do is you should find yourself an NFT. So you need to get one, right? So you need to get an NFT, crypto
Okay.
NFT, and then what you need to do is make it and put it in a plastic box. And then you
All
sell it,
right.
and you'll double your money.
Wow! Oh, I'll double my money. That sounds good, cause I can't do much besides knitting, so that sounds helpful.
And you can also use eBay. So if you're a slightly silver surfer, and eBay might be a bit more familiar to you, then
Yes,
eBay's
my daughter sells necklaces there, so yeah.
perfect. So we can use Etsy possibly, but certainly eBay. And in fact, actually, one of the first NFT only auctions to happen on eBay was a crypto
Wow.
NFT. So
Oh,
perfect
yeah.
marketplace for you to use.
Oh,
Beautiful.
well, Andrew, I just want to pinch your cheeks. You're such a good boy to include knitting in your projects, and I wish you all the success. You remind me of my grandson, and he's very handsome.
Thank you so much, Doris.
Bye.
All right, well, I would call that a rousing success.
I think what you should do is catch people off guard with that.
Just
like
pop
that.
in.
I was just gonna nip out for something, right? I'll just go get that book, right?
Yeah, totally.
We're gonna answer really good thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that.
I love it. Success.
So I
Okay.
should have said I need to nip out for a book.
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have mere minutes left in the stream.
Oh wow!
And I know the time flew by. That was really good. And I want to plug our burn day for a moment here, because that's what we're doing today.
Here's a segment called Plugs.
This is the plug segment. So if you are interested, we have this awesome burn day token, which you can get for 2 ADA, and you'll get a 1.5 back, so it's as close to free.
Look at that
as
cute
it-
ditty.
as it can be. And to get this, you do have to go to our Discord server. That's the price of admission. You have to go to our Discord and send
Join a
that
crew.
address.
Yeah.
You'll
get 1.5
also have
back.
this really cool promo, which
And that's a genuine, guaranteed, bona fide token.
that's right.
Awesome. So when we're on your Discord server,
Yeah.
which section do we go to
It
to
is
get
in
our token?
announcements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably could have been labeled more clearly. than
Make
that.
sure you already picked a crew, Andrew.
Oh, I might not have done. Actually.
Okay, go to rules and crews at the top
Okay.
first.
This is good. This is tutorial, right? So what do I
Oh, yeah,
do?
that's right.
Okay, so I'm in rules and crews.
Yes, perfect. Now just choose if you want Skull and Bones, Mystery and
Ah.
Madness, or Cats of Our
Yeah, we love
Lives.
this little.
Oh, it's got to be Cats of Our Lives. Right?
That's-
Nice. We
Yeah.
thought you would choose that, and we're proud.
Yeah.
You can see a lot of pictures of our cats.
Yeah, we
You
actually
can
have a
choose
soap
that one.
opera called Cats of
Awesome.
Our Lives.
So then we go into the announcements section and we send 2 ADA to this address. Okay, awesome.
That's
Well, I'm going to do
really
this in the
neat.
background in my data
Absolutely.
display. But
Yeah,
And
do
here
it.
we have the promo token, which is on sale
Hey,
for 10
awesome.
ADA. This is
Yeah.
the one that we actually get a little bit back for.
Yeah,
And this looks amazing on Pool PM. because it
Yeah.
disappears against the black
Cool.
background.
Yeah,
We're
that's
going to
really
be giving you a special
So
free
this
token
that's-
for being a guest.
I want to pull that up in a second.
Oh,
I do
yeah,
want to
might
say
be.
that this token is on sale. There's no limit to the purchases of this one, but it will end at midnight, and then it will never be on sale again. So this
Oh,
is
cool.
a kind of burn day promo thing. Our
That's
very
amazing.
first NFT for sale. So if you're a fan of Never Engine, we're going to be around for a while. So
Yeah.
here it is.
And we got to get that that taboo game in for a couple minutes.
Yes, I think we'll have just enough time.
Yeah,
All right, and then this
it's
is
a
our
quickie.
special promo token not promo, prize token. This one, we're only minting 11 of. All of our guests today will get one, so Andrew, we will be
Amazing.
sending you one.
8 is the
Awesome,
most
thank you.
valuable.
Yeah.
And we will be giving a couple of these away. One to the winner of our poetry contest, which
Yeah.
is happening till the end of the day. Well, actually, until I think 3:45 or 4.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One to the
It's-
giveaway, winner enter giveaway. You just
Give
react
everyone
to
there.
giveaway bot. Yeah.
Okay.
And also, we're gonna have some community games and stuff later in the day.
Yeah.
Just like playing taboo and trivia and just having fun, really chill.
Awesome.
And you can win one of these.
That's really cool. Yeah, I think these are beautiful. Like, just the design of them. It's really fantastic.
Thank you so much.
We're glad you like it. There's going to be some even crazier effects for the actual collection.
Okay, so that's our plug section.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
let's do a quick game of taboo.
Okay.
Have
Did you
played
send him the
before?
link?
I did get a link.
Okay,
Let me
good.
have a quick look. So
Yeah.
let's just drop this.
So the way
here.
it works is there's going to be a list of words with a
Okay.
word at the top. The word on top is the one you're trying to get the other people
Us
to
to
say,
guess, yeah.
But
So
you're
I
not
need to get
allowed
you
say
guys-
any of the words underneath it.
That's-
Okay.
And you have
And-
1
and-
minute to get as many as
and-
you can.
My recommendation is to use works of fiction, the NFT scene, music, songs. Those can be really helpful.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. So have we got
Yeah.
a timer?
Yeah, I'm timing.
Yeah,
it.
Trevor's gonna do the timing,
Okay, tell me when you want me to start.
and we'll take turns with
Yeah,
teams.
you're
You go
right.
first, as the
Okay.
Trevor and I will guess for you.
Special guest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. And go.
Okay, Prince, purple.
Rain.
Wow.
Correct.
You nailed it.
Okay. Professor,
Xavier. X-Men.
X-Men.
Wheelchair. Was
Awesome.
it X-Men? No.
That's X-Men. Yeah.
I
Nice.
can't believe it.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Hey, watch that mouth.
Okay.
Nope.
American, square
Heroes.
bottle,
Gods.
drink.
American what?
American square bottle alcoholic.
Oh, whiskey? Is
Yeah, it's a specific
Oh,
type.
bourbon.
Daniels?
Rum.
Jack Daniels.
All right. I
Nice.
know my
Okay.
alcohol shapes.
Good job.
Mammal, not a
Whale.
grizzly.
Bear.
But a polar bear.
Okay.
Polar bear.
Almost. Cute,
Brown
roll
bear.
around a lot.
Koala bear.
Almost.
Oh,
Basically a koala.
Panda. Panda.
There you
Okay,
go.
there it is. We'll give it
Okay,
to
we
you.
give it that
That's
one,
time.
yeah.
That's time.
So I
Okay,
think
awesome.
we got 5.
That was really good.
Was it 5
We
or
did
was it?
really good.
Okay, awesome.
That was great.
That was like amazing. As
Yeah,
the
you
first
guys are
one.
really good at it. I'm not going to be very good.
I can't believe we got.
I think you're really good at it the way you explained it. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength.
I think we must be. Okay, I guess I'll go next. I went last time.
Cool.
All right, so here we go. And go.
Oh, should I time it
This
then?
is
You got the timing?
This is if the woman who gave birth to you remarries,
Stepmother? I mean,
then have a
stepfather.
Yeah, if in a traditional gender role, yes.
Yes, right,
Stepdad
right.
is what we're going for. Good enough.
Stepdad, right.
Okay, so this is a section. Nope, I just said section. The answer was not
Next.
so we're gonna skip that. Okay, if you don't want to stink on
Shower.
a date, you can
Deodorant.
apply this to your wrists and your
Perfume.
neck. Perfume.
Okay.
To keep your noggin from cracking,
Helmet.
Skull.
wear a helmet.
Ah, nice. Good job, baby.
Never run with.
Scissors.
You got it. I'm not going to get this one. And that's my time.
Nice.
The one I was not going to get was review.
Oh, come on.
I had 3 seconds left.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah, okay.
I'm looking at the clock. All right, well, that's pretty good.
Okay, so, yeah, very good.
4, I think. 4.
Yeah, we're on a roll here.
So you're going to time me, right,
Yeah,
Trev?
I'm ready.
All right, ready and go. Blank hearts. Let's get some paint and do something to this canvas. It's also something that's in a printer.
Ink.
No. It's what's on the thing that comes out the printer. I mean, it's the thing that comes out the printer. Paper. Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes. I know, I was being crazy. Okay. Vulcan Death Grip.
Spock.
Star Wars.
Show. Star Trek.
Okay.
That's right. Okay. This syrup is in all kinds of food.
Corn.
Yes, very good. Then we have when someone is angry, they are about to connect this to your face.
Fist.
That's right. And on Sesame Street, they like to do things about this.
Count.
Maths.
Yeah, that I didn't have
Well, that's time.
alphabet. Okay, good.
Well, that's not bad, yeah.
Killing it.
All right, a little loosened up there. Maybe we should do that earlier in the interview. Kind of gets the.
Oh yeah, it's a good icebreaker thing. How would you feel about that earlier?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool early on. I guess it depends on how shy someone is, maybe.
Yeah, maybe like 10 minutes in or something, rather than right at the end.
Yeah. So start off by asking people something they can talk about easily, and normally people can talk about themselves quite easily, right?
So maybe it's better to go with the interviewing first. You're saying.
A little bit.
Yeah, do a little bit, throw it in there, and then catch them off guard with some.
Yeah, I think so. That's good.
Well, that's taking us to the end of the hour. It flew by.
Yeah.
This was really great. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, I'm so glad to get to meet you in real life-ish, and we'd love to, if you have anything else you want to talk about in these last moments, like anything you want to get out there or whatever.
I think just keep your eyes peeled on what's happening. There's so many innovations coming out of this community right now, both in terms of knowledge, but also in terms of creative development and technical development. And really we are at the cliche, the intersection of art and technology right now, right?
Yeah, we are.
And financial technology. So it's really interesting to see what comes out of this moving forward. And for me personally, I'm looking into the buzzword of utility right now, but genuine utility, possibly around smart contracts and such, and how that can be gamified. We're currently exploring our options in that field at the moment. So keep your eyes peeled.
Have you on our show once it's officially up on there? Cause
absolutely.
That's kind of what we're talking about. We're going to be doing that research and trying to find the people who are pushing the envelope.
Who's doing the most gamification?
Well, even just having a discussion around it would be amazing. Getting a few people who are interested in this field.
We want to do panel stuff.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah,
definitely.
All right. Well, this has been a wonderful time. We will definitely talk to you again on stream. But for now, that's the end.
You're very charismatic and easy to talk to.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday from Doris.
And we are.